Hi everybody, Dr. Vidya here. I'm CEO of the Leadership and Emotion Mastery Institute. So I just wanted to jump on here real quick for a few minutes just to really talk about how to become an emotionally unshakable leader. Okay. Now, this is not about not feeling your emotions, it's actually the opposite. You are feeling through all of your emotions. It's really important that you do that so it's not bottled up inside of you. And so that you are allowing yourself to have full awareness of exactly how it is that you feel, what exactly is going on for you. Really starting to think about what is it about this situation or whatever it is that the issue is triggering me, and then how can I actually not really resolve this, but how can I move through this? Really feeling and honoring and validating all of my feelings. You see, all of the emotions are normal. If you look at the Hawkins law, which I will put into the comments below, Hawkins law will show you that there are basically so many different emotions, as we know. Now, there are low vibrational emotions. What do I mean by vibration? You may have heard of one of the spiritual laws, which is the law of vibration. Okay, now this is, whether you believe in manifestation or not, is actually really integral that you understand this if you want to master your emotions. And if you want to be a top leader, self leading in your family and in your global business service, you need to master this. Okay, everybody needs to master this. This is just part of having amazing, good, healthy mental health. Okay, so the law of vibration is essentially each of the cells in our body are vibrating at a certain speed. Now, when we have low vibrational emotions such as sadness, guilt, anger, fear, you may notice that you feel a lot of tension in your chest. You feel anxious. Sometimes we genuinely feel quite like deflated. We feel slow. And actually, some of the biological, physical symptoms of depression, anxiety, whatever kind of labels you want to use. Um, I mean, what the reason I'm saying it in that way is obviously I am a medical doctor as well, but I don't want you to be saying my anxiety, my depression. It is a state, and you can change that state by going through what I'm teaching you here, okay? And what I'm also learning as I go along this journey in the school of life as well. So it's really imperative that you understand that it is a state. It is a state of being, okay, and it can be changed. It can actually be changed within an instant. It's not a state of being that you're doomed to feel forever. That's not true, okay? So it means that your cells are physically vibrating at a much slower, lower energy point, okay? So if you just imagine the physical symptoms of this state that we call depression and anxiety is actually low motivation, literally slowing of the energy. Even our thoughts become slower, but not in a healthy way. We don't gain as much clarity in mind. We lose our sense of purpose in life. Even our appetite starts to slow down. Sometimes binge eating, yes, but essentially it's not healthy. Okay, so it's the body's really starting to get into a state of disintegration. Why? You see, when the mind is not at ease, the body is not at ease. And that's where we get the word disease from, dis-ease. Dis-ease, it's not at ease. So, of course, whatever's going on in the mind, and then nowadays, thank gosh, we are aware a lot more of the mind body connection, and that is regardless of whatever condition it is, okay? I know we sometimes say IBS or certain medical conditions that there is more of a mind body. It's any condition, it's a mind body link. As long as you have a mind and you have a body, there is a mind body connection, okay? The difference is you having that awareness of it, right? So a lot of people don't realize they can change their state. But what they try to do is they try to change their state by trying to almost ignore how they really feel. So like fingers in the ears, head in the sand, like, it's not happening, it's not happening, it's not happening. I'm going to really distract myself. So a lot of my patients will say, right, when I've signed them off for burnout, stress, anxiety, and this could be anyone, you know, from a stay-at-home mum who, or to a high-level entrepreneur, leader in entrepreneurship or corporate leadership. You know, everyone's a high-level leader, whether you're working that way or not. But they've been signed off because of burnout, because of stress, because of anxiety, and have literally just got to this state where it's just become so overwhelming, understandably. And when I ask them, you know, we'll have our review sort of a week later, just to check in, how's it been going, what have you been up to? And essentially, most of the time, it's been very much around distraction. I'm trying to distract myself, you know, I'm doing gardening, I've been walking, I've been at the gym, I'm training for my ultra marathon, it's all very busy. And actually, you just want to stop and really lean into how do you feel? You want to go within. It's too much focusing on the external. Yes, you want to see people, it's good to have social interaction, but I mean, it depends on who that company is as well. And what are their beliefs, what are their paradigms, what is even their state. Okay, because there's two things to focus on here. There is your emotional regulation, right, which is what we're learning to master and what I teach in my programs. That's the emotional regulation piece. How do I go from anxiety to peace of mind? How do I go from fear to mental freedom? Okay, regardless of my circumstances, without sort of feeling like I'm lying to myself. And the other side of it, is self-realization or thought work or raising your consciousness. It is personal growth. It is personal development. Many different words to use, but essentially what you're doing is you are changing your thoughts. You're actually changing your belief system. You are rewiring, recoding how your mind thinks for it to think in a much healthier way. You can think in a much healthier way with a much more positive beliefs and still feel a little bit low. So it's not, you will still vibrate from these different emotions, but you're on a higher level of consciousness. You are having a growth mindset. So the difference is that the oscillations, you know, the up down, the gap between up the higher level emotions, which is what's your opposite of anxiety? Freedom, peace of mind, love, calmness of mind, courage, right? The difference between that will feel much smaller. Okay, so the oscillations are not going up and down. You don't feel like you're sort of constantly, as some of my patients and clients say, I feel like I'm on a roller coaster. No, you won't feel like that. And also the difference is you have so much more confidence and you're grounded within yourself to know that I can close that gap anytime. But I'm also just changing my belief. That's important work to do. A lot of people sometimes can change their state by they might meet a friend, they might go outside for a walk in the sunshine, they might do some gardening, they might watch a funny movie, and that is beautiful, and you should do that. It's important to know how to change your emotions, but ideally you need to learn how to change your emotions from within. I'm not saying you don't go do those wonderful things, but we also don't want to be dependent on seeing that family member, that friend, etc. It's available within you all the time, and that's part of the self-realization journey. Okay, so those are the two key things I talk about: emotional mastery, which is emotional regulation, emotional resilience, emotional healing, right? So I've coined the term sort of heal and release journaling, right? And that a lot of my patients and my clients we do this. And I think that's really important because sometimes in order to vibrate higher, we need to get it out of our system in order to clean it up. We need to heal, we need to release it, and we need to heal and release it, right? And I think journaling is great for that, meditation. And yes, sometimes you might be doing that whilst you're going for a walk or lying in bed or as an extension of your prayer activities or whatever works for you. But it is emotional regulation work, emotional mastery. And then the other side of it is leadership, self-leadership. It comes from within. You are leading yourself through it. Yes, I'm a leader in my organization, I'm a CEO, but I'm leading by example. I'm telling you things that done for myself, okay, and that I teach my patients and my clients. But it is self-leadership, it is personal growth, and then leading your family, and then leading your award-winning global business service. Okay, so important, such important work to do. So that's it for today. Let me know if you would like me to go deeper into this in an extended actual webinar on the emotional unshakable leader. Let me know. So you can comment down below webinar, and then I can set that up for you, and I'll reach out so we can do that. Feel free, jump in. If you like this, if this resonated with you, jump into my membership, Legacy Leader Circle. It's currently only $37 per month, okay? And in this, you will have live coaching from me, and we actually really go deep into exactly what's showing up for you, how we can do this emotional mastery work and leadership work coming from within this consciousness work, how we can do that together. And there is a third part to all of this, which is legacy creation. And that is, yes, the wealth building piece, wealth building in whatever that looks like for you. So actual wealth building, which is whether it's your corporate career and how do I go to not even the next level, but really quantum leap, or it is in entrepreneurship. How can I really start my, for example, coaching business or my global service? How can I make it award winning? Right? How can I take it to 6, 7 figures, etc.? How can I have huge impact in my community and what I do? And then there's also legacy in terms of your actual body of work that you are passing on to your family, to your community, right? To your service users. That is your divine life purpose. So those are the 3 things I focus on: emotional mastery, leadership, and legacy creation. And we focus on that in the Legacy Leader Circle. So jump in. Feel free to comment down below membership. I'll pop the link as well. And one other thing I want to share with you is another way to work with me is in my one-to-one services. So I have many programs, group as well. But I'd love to, if this resonates with you, then reach out to me to apply to work with me one-to-one. So we can really go deep. I know sometimes maybe you want that confidential, safe healing space, which all of my group programs have as well. But I do understand that sometimes it feels more comfortable just when it's just one-on-one, right? And if this is being done globally and you're in a completely different country, there are ways that we can do this so that it works for both of our timings. I'm based in London, but just reach out to me. All right, so webinar, if you want me to go deeper. The membership, Legacy Leader Circle, where we really go deep dive into all of this live with me, okay? And thirdly, come and work with me one-on-one. If that resonates with you, comment down below, mentor, or just DM me, private DM me. And I'd love to help you through this. Sending you so much love and light. Please do comment down below for any questions at all, any topics you want me to cover or questions you have on leadership, emotional mastery, legacy creation, anything from this, any other topics you want me to cover. And I'd love to come on here live and talk further about it and in training, as well as in my podcast as well. Love and light. Catch you next time. Bye.